Welcome back to Adventures and Projects. So today's project was a Dodge Dakota SLT. We had to replace the lower ball joint. And a lot of people go and take the caliper off, take the rotor, and the whole hub assembly, the steering knuckle, and everything off, when really you don't have to do that. All you gotta do, jack up, put a support under your frame, put a jack under your main A-arm, undo your top ball joint, pop your top ball joint off, then you can pop your lower one. Makes it a lot easier. You have to pull your CV axle, just tie it out of the way. It's super easy. Everyone's like, oh, you need an air impact to do it. I did it with my good old-fashioned torque wrench. It's not that hard. It's only 200 foot-pounds. It's not that bad. But you can take the whole assembly without disconnecting the brakes or the ABS or any of that, and just set it aside on some blocks like I have it right here. You don't even have to disconnect your steering knuckle, and then you can get around all of that. And I pulled this ball joint and did it all, and it took me a little longer than expected because I ended up going down to AutoZone and I used a parts puller. Now, they swore to me this was the right one, and it would pull these ball joints. It's the biggest piece of junk I've ever used. I took a hammer and hit it 3 times and it went out. This thing, I spent about 3 hours trying to get it out, and then it was supposed to put it back in for you, and it don't do that either. So save yourself some time. Don't even waste your time with getting the tool. Use a hammer. Get everything out of the way, get square on it, put something there that's, a buffer in between so you're not hitting your A-arm, and give it a good couple smacks. It'll go right down through the bottom. It's really easy. It irritates me that you go and get tools, pay a whole bunch of money for a tool, and then it doesn't work for what they say it's going to work for. So save yourself some time and some effort and just use a hammer. It's not that hard. So now I'm going to show you the assembly process, because going back together is pretty basic, and it's just like pulling it apart, just backwards. So stay tuned for the rest of it. You might learn something. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out. Everything. Alright, let me show you what we had going here. So, when you come to this thing and you pull the tire off, this is what you're looking at, right? Oops, sorry. So this is what you're looking at. First thing you're going to want to do out of all of it, you're going to want to break your axle nut loose. You want to break that loose and get that freed up. Tap it with the end of a hammer real quick just to pop it loose. That way you don't struggle with trying to get it out. Then you want to turn your steering wheel all the way to the right. And once you've turned your steering wheel all the way to the right, this one isn't right now because when I put it back on, it straightened out. But turn it all the way to the right, and then your CV axle, when you pop your top ball joint, pull your nut off, and this one right here, because you don't want to wreck your brake lines or anything. Then you can pop your upper ball joint up and off. This will come out towards you, and it'll be turned over this way. Then your CV axle comes out at like a 90, and it just does like a banana, and then comes out this side over here. And then you can tie your axle off to the side, undo your bottom ball joint, and then you can drop the entire hub assembly just right off. And have a block right here, hangs on the steering knuckle, and just set it right here. And just, you can run a strap. That's what I did. I ran a strap here and just kind of leaned it against itself. Held it perfectly. Never had to take any of the brakes off. Never had to disconnect any of the lines. Don't have to disconnect any of the turning buckles. Saves a lot of time and a lot of effort. A lot less steps. I highly recommend it. If you really want to make it a lot easier, go ahead and replace your shocks when you're doing it. That way you can just take your shocks off. Or pull your shocks off, collapse them up, and then put them back on. But that's basically it. It's really, really simple. Oh, and when you get to the actual ball joint, like I was saying earlier, just don't waste your time with that puller. Just hit it right there with a hammer. Once you get this hub out of the way, you can get right to it. Just tie that axle out of the way. A couple smacks with a hammer, comes right out. So, well, I guess that's the Dodge Dakota SLT 101. Alrighty. Well, I'm doing my best with the camera that I got, so this is the best camera angle I can get at this point in time. And I'll do my best for you guys, so that way I'm not in the way and you can see what's going on. I'll speed the video up as much as I can for, you know, the little miscellaneous stuff. If for some reason I gotta grab a tool or something, I'll speed it up. But it's pretty simple. We gotta just put the CV axle in first, because trust me, that's the first one you want to do. Or actually, no, sorry, strike that. You don't have to do that one first. You want to do the ball joint first. I almost got ahead of myself. If I remember correctly, there is a technique to this. Yeah, that's right, because you can't put the CV axle on until after, because if you put the CV axle on too early, you can't get it on this bottom ball joint. So if you were to be taking it off, you got to take the CV axle out pretty much first, if you will. Okay, not quite. I gotta go up a little higher. Yep. Of course. There it is. It is kind of a juggling act, but now that I got it on there on the ball joint, I can slip this CV axle down into here. See, so I just got it down in. Then I can just bring this up, find the teeth, bring it up the rest of the way, finger tighten it. Just a finger tight. Make sure none of your brake lines are catching on anything. I got this that was holding it. So give me just a second here. It's always difficult with gloves on, you know. I'll tell you though, I don't regret learning this stuff when I was a kid. Thank you, Grandpa. Thank you, Dad. Thanks, Uncle. Thanks to my entire family. I know how to work on cars. I can rebuild an engine in a day, as long as I have the parts. You know, if I don't know how to do something, I can figure it out. And that's a skill that's very rare in today's day. So to all you young people out there, I suggest you go out and learn some of these trades, because they might just save your ass someday. I know this right here would cost me about $400 to $600 to take it in and have it done. So, give you an idea. There it is. And there's our CV axle. We'll go ahead and just finger tighten nut on there for now. Because now we got to jack it up. Get it brought up to this ball joint here. Sometimes it's easier than others. You just gotta be careful when you're doing it. Especially with this one, it's got some pretty good shocks on it. The all-wheel drives have better shocks on them. Let's see how it's going up. And we're gonna get to a point when it doesn't want to go anymore. Always make sure you have a safety there. Always make sure you have a good jack stand. Because trust me, you don't want to accidentally have one of these fall on you. It's a very bad day. Okay, looks like I need to go up a little more. I might have to use a come along to pull it up. If this don't work, I'm gonna have to go grab a come along, and then you guys get to see another little trick. It's old timers trick. Before they had all the tools and stuff to do it, you know. Yep, looks like we are going to have to do the trick. Alright, you guys get to see a treat. Alrighty, people. It took me a second to get it set up, and I realized my camera died on me. I don't know why, it just keeps having issues, but this dies at that point. So you take come along or a strap. You can use either or. Normally, yeah, you could take out the shock and do it that way. I just didn't feel like having to deal with all that. So I took the cheater way. And I'm pretty sure I got enough threads on there, but we're going to find out. Got like half a thread on there. So I'm going to show you what I did. I tightened it up. Then you come over here, give it a tap. Lightly. Little tap on the top of the ball joint. And that'll bring it down a little. Oh yeah, that brought it down a little bit. So then I'm going to bring it up just a little more. Just like so. Oh, okay. Just being that way. Might be the jack. Hang on. Doesn't take much. There it is. You just have to get it tight enough. There it went. And we're in. Good deal. Now we got her snug. I can pop this release, which this part's kind of the dangerous part. I'm not gonna lie. At least this is a good come along, and not one of those freaking junkers. It's actually a good one. They don't even make come alongs like this anymore. Yeah. Oh, that was one thing I forgot to mention. There is a, where the brake line and ABS go up on the main top A-arm up here, there is a bolt right here that holds a little bracket. You do have to take that off. But to be honest, that saved me a lot of work. I started this about an hour ago. So, and I'm just taking my time. I'm not going for like, you know, I'm not going for like a speed run or anything. Oh. Alright. Alright. We'll just tighten these up, get them all tightened. Well, check them after, you know, a few hundred miles. Make sure they're not coming loose, even though they really shouldn't. Alright. Take care of that. It is a 32 millimeter W155. It is a special socket, and they are expensive, unless you buy it online, of course. But then you gotta wait a week, which usually when you find out you need them then. You can't wait a week. So to all you guys, your internet warriors that think you know everything, there you go. Okay, we're at 50, hundo, 150, 200. Let's go a little more just for shits and grins, huh? Almost takes up my whole body weight. Almost 300 pounds. I can live with that. Or no, that's 250. Sorry, not 3. Don't know if you guys could see that or not. She's a torqued. Well, I guess I'll just find the or I'll go pick up a new pin. Just got to grease it up, put a tire on it, go pick up a clip, and it's done. So I'll show a little clip of the test drive here when it's done, and other than that, that's all you get for $2. Like and subscribe. I hope you learned something. Have a good one. Alright, so we got it all finished up. We went to the hardware store, got ourselves a new cotter pin, and then we got her all greased up. Got all the old ball joint, new ball joint, everything all greased up. We even greased up all the bushings and zerts and whatnot. Surprisingly, these Dakotas don't have a lot of grease zerts on them. I'm quite surprised with that. So if you're looking around wondering where they all are, there's not very many of them. If it's stock, if it's aftermarket parts, you'll find a whole bunch of them. So a good way to tell if it's stock or aftermarket too. Or well, we'll put the tire on and then we'll take it for a test drive. And hopefully it's all good. We'll let you know. We're back in order. Everything seems to be working right. I got my camera girl back, so we're off and rolling. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for the next one. See you then.